Hello and welcome to another League of Legends Let's Play. This time, because of high demand, we are playing Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is actually one of my favorite champions in League of Legends. And I think many people would agree that he is super fun to play. The thing why you don't see him in competitive play nowadays, I think, is that he just got too many counters, and good players can play very well against Blitzcrank. But as soon as you are not against highly skilled champions, and not against Morgana, and not against Tahm Kench, you can actually nearly carry the whole game. So here we are going for a late invade. I'm not sure if my flash was completely necessary here, but I think it still nets us a kill. Yeah, we get first blood, but our Vayne also dies, which is kinda sad. And I missed my grab here, which was really bad because I could have predicted it much better and made it a 2-for-1 in our favor. But still, we got the first blood, so it's an okay start. If you are confident in your team, or even if you're not confident in your team, you should actually always look to invade on level 1 with Blitzcrank. Your Q is really strong at invades. But still, most of the time I just don't do it because I play solo queue, and yeah. And this Jinx was just walking right into me, which was great, so I already chunked her down. Just to come back to what I said in the beginning, oh, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. If people don't respect your grabs, you can have a very easy time on Blitzcrank. To learn how to grab, I mean, there are some tips that I will give you in this video, but it has also do a lot with practice. Like, I heard people say Blitzcrank is a low skill cap champion, which I wouldn't really agree on, because it takes a good amount of skill to land good grabs. And maybe one good thing, which I was going for right there, but I failed, as you could see, is to make rather unexpected grabs. Like, you're actually running away from the AD carry and then making the grab, because when you are just walking up to them and then try to grab them, it's super obvious, and any halfway decent player will get out of range or even juke your grab, because there's also a really long casting time, so it's quite easy to juke. And yeah, here we get double killed, I think. I don't think I can make the escape. Yeah, I tried to turn around with Ignite, but it wasn't even worth wasting my Ignite there. Anyways, yeah, my two main tips that I could think of why or how you can play good as a Blitzcrank is, first of all, make unexpected hooks. Don't just walk straight up to them and try to max range grab them. They will always dodge it, as long as they are halfway decent. So yeah, try to seem like you're retreating with your AD carry, or you're just walking around in circles and then boom, grab out of nowhere. That still might be hard to pull off against skilled opponents. Maybe a second tip in lane is to don't engage with your grab. Try to, especially if they have like some range to rest support, like I don't know, maybe Zyra or something, or Lux, even better. Try to walk up to the enemy AD carry and initiate with your E. So they will just run away in fear. And here we're really close to getting the kill on the trash. Yeah, but try to initiate with your E if you're against a really skilled opponent who is always hiding behind his minions and doesn't make any missteps. And then when they run away after you engaged with the E, then you can grab them back in. And yeah, I'm just missing a lot of Qs here because I get a little bit overconfident because I made really good grabs in the beginning. And a tip for playing Blitzcrank outside of the lane is get vision. Like, vision is really a key. Whoa, yeah. Vision is a really great key to enable grabs. Because enemies cannot juke or dodge your grabs when they cannot even see you, but you can see them because you have vision on them. So always try to get good deep vision, like especially on the blue, if you are happening to be on the... I'm not even sure what this is right now, on the blue or red side, whatever. If try to get good view in the enemy jungle so you can make a lot of grabs there that they don't expect. Another tip for landing grabs in lane is maybe try to wait for minions dying. Because sometimes they will just wait, or they will think they are protected behind minions, but the minions are dying, and they will stay there and don't expect your grab or think they are still protected somehow. Yeah. And also a tip in general, if you play Blitzcrank, auto attack. If you are all in, which happens a lot because as soon as you pull somebody in, you are all in fighting pretty much. Always use your auto attacks because you have a high natural burst damage on your auto. You have a high natural damage on your auto attacks, and once you do your combo, which should be like Q, E, and R if you have R already. Sometimes I also make the mistake that I'm kind of, okay, I used all my skills, I can't do anything anymore. But you should always auto attack in these situations, because you have really good base damage. I also pack physical damage marks. And in the early game, that's really a lot of physical damage coming out of you. You can even boost that with your W for having more attack speed on your auto attacks. So yeah, I think that's about it what I wanna say as tips for playing Blitzcrank. So let's just watch the rest of the game. It's really a beautiful game. It was like one of the most fun League of Legends games that I played in a very long time. I've had other very successful games on Blitzcrank, but this game was just going so great. Jinx actually is a very bad AD carry against Blitzcrank because many AD carries, like for example Vayne, have dodges, like her tumble, but Jinx doesn't have none of it. So, or Lucian can also dodge really easy with his dash. Most AD carries actually have some sort of dash, or Tristana and Ezreal can even dash out of your Q when they are grabbed. So, and this was maybe an example for initiating with your Q. But in general, many AD carries can be much more of a pain in the ass than Jinx. As long as Jinx doesn't have Morgana and or Tahm Kench with her, she's really vulnerable to your grabs. If you happen to play against an AD carry with dashes, make sure his dash is on cooldown when you try to grab him. Or for Tristana, you can, if she starts to rocket jump early before you grab, you can actually grab her out of the rocket jump, which is also a really cool mechanic. Yeah, and it's really going great for us, this game. But you could already see that vision is great, because we had vision on the enemy Kindred while she thought she was surprising us, which she was not. So Vayne could go all in on her, and I could position myself so that even if she jumped over the wall, I can kill her. And yeah, maybe one thing, because maybe some people are confused that Tahm Kench is somehow a counter to Blitzcrank. Because you could think that you just pull the enemy right into you and Blitzcrank and Tahm cannot do anything. Tahm can actually eat people out of your grab, so even if your grab lands on the target, he can still eat them while you are pulling them, and he will get them out of the hook, and yeah. It can be very annoying to play against Tahm Kench with a Blitzcrank, if he's a good Tahm Kench. So yeah. Okay, I guess now I'm done with all my tips for Blitzcrank, and now we can just watch the game. I opt into buying a tier for building later on what's it called? Manamune? But I think that's not really a good option. I think if you want to have one damage item, and generally you should have one damage item at max. You can build full tank, but I like to have one damaging item on Blitzcrank. I think Trinity Force is the much better option, even though it's far more expensive. It just gives you really great stats with movement speed, which is super great, which all the movement speed I already have. And yeah, the Sheen proc is great. You can even get ability to power and attack damage on it, so Trinity Force is a really great item if you are ahead and you want to build damage on Blitzcrank. And yeah, I go a little bit cocky here and get punished for it, but I think Kindred and Vayne can pick it up. Yeah, and they can, which is great. And also, you maybe saw right there, Blitzcrank doesn't have really good protective skills. You can body block for your allies, or you can of course try to E the enemies for a short knockup, but Trash Lantern is like so much more efficient to save your teammates. And yeah, you got many other supports which are really sufficient in saving your allies, and Blitzcrank is not really one of them. Blitzcrank is really more of an all-in champ. You can maybe rocket grab people out of the range of your AD carry, but normally you are pretty close to your AD carry, and so a rocket grab won't help. Also, it can be really bad to fall behind with Blitzcrank, because the only thing you can do is pretty much initiate fights. And if you cannot fight because you are so far behind, Blitzcrank becomes very not completely useless, but he gets much weaker. You can still punish people for going over aggressive and pulling them under your turrets and stuff. Or in a really bad position like 3v1. And you shouldn't steal kills like I do there. Really not a good habit, but at least I block a super mega death rocket for him in the end. So I think I made up for it. And yeah, that's also a reason why I pick... I always forget all the item names. The yellow support item with the movement speed active that I already bought. That actually gives you some save potential. Because you can just yeah, enhance their movement speed if they are in a bad situation, and you can both just run out of it. And right now I'm getting, of course, a little bit cocky because trying to take down an inhibitor as Blitzcrank is really pointless. Normally if I would take down a tower, I would use my W on it, because it also buffs my attack speed, but I wanted to save my W to get out of there. And I should buy a tanky item now, and yeah, I do. Like Aegis is like, if they have like at least one, or if they have AP mid laner or an AP top, or even just an AP jungler, I tend to go for the Aegis. But for itemization you can do very different stuff on Blitzcrank. Like, you should always look out what the enemy team has, and then build accordingly, like mostly tanky and defense. And this Q wasn't really good, but I place a ward, and our Vayne does some damage, and then I flash Q, and that's also great. Blitzcrank completely counters Kindred, because you can just pull Kindred out of her ult. And with Kindred being really strong at the moment, I'm pretty sure they will nerf her, but even with nerfs, I feel like she will still be a very strong opponent, or a strong champion. And a really bad Q again. But you counter Kindred, and I think that's pretty valuable. And this is my favorite grab of the game, because Trash actually pretty much revealed the pathing of the Veigar, and I think I have pulled him out of the lantern. Like, he already activated the lantern and I still got to pull him in, which was really great. And yeah, we are getting close to the end, because they will just surrender now. I get another great Q-in, but that's the game. I really enjoyed the game while playing it, and I hope you enjoyed the video as well. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.